Welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly What's Up. I'm Jacob Clore.
And I'm Rachel Anderson, and this is your Weird National News. Running from the police on foot or by car is one thing, but two men in Texas took off on horseback after a fight broke out at the Mesquite Championship Rodeo Arena in Texas. According to UPI, when backup arrived, the two men, having no other option in their drunken state, hopped on horses and fled the scene. When the police found the men in a nearby neighborhood and flashed their lights, one of the men got off of his horse and surrendered. The other man took off at a full gallop. He was later found on foot after leaving his horse in a backyard. All three men involved in the fight were arrested for disorderly conduct and public intoxication.
Do you think this is on the same level as like a DUI? Because yes, you're driving a vehicle, but at the same time it's a horse. So the horse has its like own thought process.
Well, they didn't get arrested for that though, which is nice. They weren't charged with the DUIs because they were on horses and not operating a vehicle.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a little bit of a goofy tactic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sounds like a Western movie. So Rachel, you know those infomercials you see on TV selling products for $19.99?
Yes, and they usually last for like an hour or more, and
Yeah.
it's just the same thing over and over again.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, one Massachusetts man is offering bags of dried-up, multicolored fall foliage for $19.99. And get this, he already has 200 customers. According to the Huffington Post, Kyle Waring came up with the idea with his wife after thinking of seasonal ways to make money. They came up with the idea because they believe the New England foliage is especially beautiful, which it is. The mixture of leaves are preserved in a mixture of glycerin and water and can be shipped right to your door. Fun fact, Waring also sold snow during last year's record snowfall in Boston for the bargain price of $89 using shipsnowyo.com.
Wait, he shipped the snow.
He shipped the snow.
In like giant refrigerator trucks, I'm hoping, or something.
I don't know how that worked exactly. I mean, it would be so hilarious if you bought the snow and it came to your door and it's water.
For what, $89? We might need to come up with that.
It's like, you know, it's like the Fiji water. It's nice snow water. You can buy it for, you know, overcharged price at your local Costco or Sam's Club.
There you go. This next story is about an elk a long way from home. According to NBC News, a 2 or 3-year-old wild bull elk led police on a 6.5-hour chase through Waco, Texas. Word of the mysterious elk spread quickly, and a Twitter page was created titled @WacoElk. When police finally caught up with the elk, they used a tranquilizer dart to sedate it, closely followed by a tweet from @WacoElk that said, "Ouch." The elk woke unharmed on its way to an exotic animal ranch and tweeted, "Well, I'm woozy and headed to an exotic ranch out in the country. That sounds sketchy. I'll keep you posted. #WacoElk out for now."
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious, and I love the fact that they made a Twitter page almost immediately.
Yeah, exotic animal. It's an elk. It's not like it's some kind of, you know, endangered species. I don't know if it's an endangered species actually, but it's not like some like peacock or like some cool like colorful mammal. It's an elk.
Well, I guess in Texas it's about the equivalent.
Yeah. Well, this next story proves that you need to check the label before you use a product. According to the Huffington Post, a Florida woman named Catherine Gatos had her eyes glued shut after her friend mistook a bottle of eye drops for a bottle of fingernail glue. While Gatos raked her leaves, she got some debris in her eyes and had her friends get some eye drops. Her friend returned with the fingernail glue and Gatos applied it. Gatos quickly went to an eye doctor and he only gave her antibiotics and an ointment because Gatos could not afford the proper treatment. After she broke the story to a local news station, another doctor from the same doctor's office opened her eye and made an appointment for the glue to be scraped from her cornea. Gatos expects to have no permanent damage.
This sounds terrible in every single way.
Yeah.
Like, you thought sleeping in your contacts was bad? Like, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to your eyeballs, I feel like.
Especially the whole, like, on your cornea, like, glue? No.
And who puts nail glue in the same drawer that they put eye drops or other medicine?
So many questions.
Okay. Well, Jacob, are you familiar with medieval combat skills?
Does jousting count? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, apparently, it's a good skill to have. According to ABC News, a 43-year-old Indiana woman attacked an intruder using perfected medieval combat skills that she learned as a teenager in the Society for Creative Anachronism. She kept the intruder subdued with a Japanese sword that she keeps by her bed. The homeowner is also a member of Naptown Roller Girls. Police responding to the 911 call arrested the intruder and took him to the hospital.
That's hilarious. Like,
And the fact that she's a 40-some-year-old, almost 50, and she could do that kind of stuff. And she's a member of the Roller Girls for Naptown Roller Girls. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
She's a
Go her.
feisty one.
You're awesome. Halloween is probably every first responder's nightmare. One Detroit woman promised to add to that stigma as she put a dummy lying face down in her yard. According to the Huffington Post, Laretha Haddon said that police showed up 3 times on the first day she put out the dummy. Haddon says she puts the dummy in different places in her yard every day and watches the reaction of passerbys. She even says that some passerbys have attempted CPR on the dummy, only to find out that the dummy is not, in fact, human.
This is almost terrible. That's awful.
It's a horrible joke.
The fact that she thinks it's funny to make people think there's a dead person in her yard is kind of disgusting.
Wow. I mean, I remember when I was younger, there was always this house in my neighborhood that would, you use smoke effects and stuff like that, and they'd always have, firefighters come. Like, somebody must have called 911. I mean, that's, okay, it's fine. I mean, mistakes happen, but a dummy in your front yard, that just sounds mean and cruel.
Right. A little fun and games are one thing, but that's crossing the line.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all we have for Weird National News.
But stay tuned, because when we come back, we will have Susanna Shepard and Mary Desmond with Awkward Moments.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right into your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
Welcome back to Weekly What's Up. I'm Mary Desmond.
And I'm Susanna Shepard.
And
this is Awkward Moments. Well, fall is finally here. Leaves are changing, temperatures are dropping, football is back. But Mary, do you know what's also back?
Pumpkin spice flavored everything. I am guilty in my love for pumpkin spice stuff. I am basic in that matter. But it is just so yummy and festive and warm in my belly, especially drinks like coffees and teas. I freaking love pumpkin spice stuff. I'm gonna admit it.
Well, Mary, I'm sorry to disappoint, but personally, I don't like pumpkin spice. Not even Starbucks' pumpkin spice lattes. And nowadays, people are going crazy to pumpkin spice everything up. You think of something, there is probably, and more likely definitely, a pumpkin spice version of it.
Think about normal flavors of things, such as, Jell-O, pudding, gum, Twinkies, Oreos, beer, lotions, butter. These are all standard products we use every day that can, become festive.
But people just go over the top with pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice hummus. So many pumpkin spice things that shouldn't be pumpkin spice.
It's a little strange because hummus is usually, it's a savory snack and you have with like crackers. But I don't understand making it sweet. I don't get it because pumpkin stuff is kind of sweet. I wouldn't try it just because it's like a little over the top. Like if I want hummus, I want it with like some saltines or something, or like Ritz. It's like savory. I don't understand why they would do this. It's just too much.
I completely agree. And if you think that's bad, there's also pumpkin spice for Loco.
Ah!
This is just, it's so wrong on so many levels. I'm not even going to say anything else about it. It's so wrong.
That just needs to never
calm
happen.
down, please.
Just never. As if that's not enough of a headache for you. There's also pumpkin spice flavored BURNETT'S. I can just see this being like a go-to pregame drink for like sorority girls before they go to some fraternity function. Definitely an October football tailgate necessity.
Oh, definitely.
For the biddies.
All right, so
Sounds awful.
It's just
so gross.
I feel like that's a very freshman thing to do. Like, it's fall. Oh my God, it's my first football season. Freshman.
Yes, cheap vodka.
Pumpkin spice Burnett's. Okay, so far we have stuck to some pretty normal stuff.
But then there are some real crazy over the top you never would think would become pumpkin spiced.
Like,
Just
get ready for this.
Get ready.
You might want to sit down for
grab
this.
onto something or something. I don't know. Hold on to something. Strap in.
All right. For instance, condoms. Yes, basic white girls, maybe guys of America can rejoice. Your love of pumpkin spice has even made condoms concede to the madness.
I mean, I guess this will allow, like, every fat guy ever to pull as many biddies as possible, or like, every fabulous gay man to get whatever action he wants in pumpkin spice form.
Pumpkin spice lovers galore. It's too much. I don't even know how to comprehend this. There are just some things in life that don't need to be festive.
I mean, it's already festive. You know, pumpkin flavored things is already like an aphrodisiac.
Yes.
So I feel like this is just
adding on to it. Like, Thanksgiving is a wonderful holiday with pilgrims and Indians and pumpkin pie. That's a normal thing, but not condoms. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah, there's like a line, and I think this crosses it.
We have definitely crossed it this year. 2015 is the year of pumpkin spice nonsense.
What a time to be alive. Am I right?
I suppose so. Well, that's all we have for this week's episode of Awkward Moments. When we come back, we'll have Haley Levenbaum and Alec Holcomb with viral videos.
After year, Fox Ridge Apartment Homes has been voted Best of Blacksburg by the Virginia Tech Collegiate Times. Fox Ridge offers convenience and quality at an affordable price. Choose from a wide range of floor plans and enjoy ample parking for you and your friends. Fox Ridge is just minutes from Virginia Tech with 8 Blacksburg transit stops and a direct walking trail to campus. With pools, recreational courts, and a fitness center, it's no wonder Fox Ridge is #1. Guaranteed student leases available now. Visit foxridgeliving.com.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Welcome back to the weekly What's Up. I'm Haley Levenbaum.
And I'm Alec Holcomb.
And this is Viral Videos. Our first video of the week is one of the most important and also sassiest men in America, being his sassy self to one of the most interesting and controversial men in America.
But later, you're going to hear from a guy who I hear has been talking about launching a potential political career. You may have heard about this. Kanye is thinking about running for Speaker of the House. But in case Kanye is serious about this whole POTUS thing, or as he calls it, PZ, I do have advice for him. First of all, you've got to spend a lot of time dealing with some strange characters who behave like they're on a reality TV show. So you've got to be cool with that. Second, this is the second important tip. Saying that you have a beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. That's what's known as off message in politics. You can't say something like that. And number 3, do you really think that this country is going to elect a black guy from the south side of Chicago with a funny name to be president of the United States? That is crazy. That's crazy.
I can't express how much I love this video. Like, it actually brings a tear to my eye.
Obama is so sad. Like, did you see his anger translator video?
Yes!
He's so sad.
Oh my god.
I just found when I found this video, he released his birth video, and it's the opening scene
the
from The Lion King.
Yes.
He is so I never realized how sassy he was until I got older and can understand the things he sasses about now.
Well, I mean, he's not running for a third term, obviously.
So he's like,
so he
whatever.
just doesn't care at this point.
But even his birth video was in 2011.
Was it really?
Yeah. So he was still running, but he's like, I don't care. Do something about it. He still won. So
you know what? I like that a lot. All right. So this next clip comes from a popular Viner named Cold Hirsch, who has a different view of what the Press for Help button does in public places.
You know, the Press for Help button, I feel like if you're stuck in an elevator, is the thing when you want to cross the road and you just press it. I feel like it doesn't do anything.
Right.
And it doesn't do anything.
Well, okay, so I've actually tried to press, I found these, sporadically throughout my life, and nothing happens. And so I like how he just has the guy crawling under the, hey, you all right there?
You good? You good, bud?
Do you need some more, toilet paper? He just has, stuff in his back pocket.
I feel like they're just random buttons to nowhere just so you, feel good about, oh, someone's on the way. No, they're not on the way.
It's, blinking and whatnot.
No one ever told you life was going to be this way. And no one told the hamsters in this 90s sitcom-inspired video.
So I personally have not watched Friends. I know it's a really bad thing, but I have to say, as popular as the intro is for that, I instantly recognized it.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the hamsters just going around and all the puns as well with all the names.
They had that for puppies too.
They had that for puppies.
Yeah, they made a puppies one, but there's no Central Perk. They made for these hamsters a miniature Central Perk, the coffee shop.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And so they had the little couch and they put a lot of work into this hamster set.
Well, no, I saw that and I was very much impressed with it. It's just, I found it funny how the hamsters just doing their own thing.
They're
They just they're just eating
they're being hamsters.
Exactly. All right, so this last clip, I can't help but laugh every time I see it. In the honor of the new Star Wars movie coming out soon, I present to you an actual Ewok.
So, I've never seen Star Wars, you haven't seen Friends. I know, I'm that person.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to dress my little, puppy up as an Ewok, just because they're really, those little feet running and then, little ears.
It's just, okay, so it was, the original Ewok was, based off of the dog that's dressed up in.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's the dog's now based off the Ewok.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, in a sense, that's...
It's irony.
Exactly.
Ironic.
All right, well, this is all for viral videos this week.
Stay tuned because up next we have Kevin Stefani and Zaid Farrow with TTG and the Basilisk.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
every day across America. Excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to the Weekly What's Up. I'm Kevin Stefani.
I'm Zaid Farah.
And this is TTG and the Basilisk.
All right, Kevin, hit us with the D Drew. What do you got?
This week's Decent Drew is going to one of my personal favorite celebrities, Steve-O. The Jackass star, maybe 41 years old and somewhat washed up post-drug rehab. Probably broke, but he still has charisma. Steve-O decided to make a stand against SeaWorld by climbing a crane at a nearby construction site outside of the theme park and shot off fireworks, in addition to blowing up an inflatable orca whale with the words "SeaWorld sucks" plastered along the side of the whale. The stunt alerted emergency services, causing $14,000 in response charges that the city has asked Steve-O to pay for. In addition to that, Steve-O has been sentenced to 30 days in jail for his antics. When interviewed about the stunt, Steve-O responded, "I must say, I'm ready to go to jail. Not just because it will bring so much attention to the plight of orcas in captivity, but because it's nice to let people know that I haven't lost my edge. What can I say? I'm a jack." That's it.
Well, if there's one thing Steve-O has, it's charisma.
Yep. I love that guy.
Yeah, typical
So
Steve-O fashion.
Yeah, of course. Shoot off fireworks, and SeaWorld sucks. I think sucks is Steve-O's favorite word, you know. He just has sucks
in every meaning of the word.
Hey, what are you trying to say? Steve-O's a national hero, man. Come on.
All right.
Do not insult him.
All right. He's an honorable guy for sure.
Very
all right, so indecent is really the only word to use besides charisma.
Of course.
Charismatic.
Steve-O.
For Steve-O.
We thank you for your deeds. Zaid.
Yeah.
How about your decent Drew?
My decent Drew is probably much more decent than Steve-O. It's the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet. And they deserve a tip of the decently proportioned cap for their establishment of a successful peace process after the Jasmine Revolution, during which peace dialogue was in danger of giving way to factional violence. The quartet filled the void in Tunisian civil society so vast that civil war is expected to resume in the wake of a series of political assassinations and social unrest. The quartet consists of the Tunisian General Labor Union, the Tunisian Confederation of Industry, Trade and Crafts, the Tunisian Human Rights League, and the Tunisian Order of Lawyers. The quartet rightfully won the Nobel Peace Prize this year for their decent efforts.
God bless them, but Steve-O is more important.
Yeah, well, they furthered world peace, democracy, representation of really each sector of civil society. And Steve-O climbed a crane.
It was a crane.
It was a crane.
And
it would have been cool climbing a train if it was moving anymore. That's a jackass.
That was
right.
cool, though. They prevented or helped prevent civil war.
What, between orcas or
no?
What are we talking about?
Tunisia.
Yeah, no, they actually did.
Yeah,
yeah, it was on the brink, and just by bring together all these intellectuals, they stopped likely civil war.
Mm.
Well, speaking of something as indecent as civil war, who's your decently deficient pick, Kevin?
Good transition there.
Thanks.
This week, I'm going to give my decently deficient award to Luke Gaddy, a 19-year-old student at UConn. The kid got drunk and tried to get some bacon mac and cheese at a dining hall, but upon entry, the manager refused him service due to his obvious intoxication. Luke's physiological need for bacon mac and cheese took over, and he began to harass the manager of the dining hall, shoving him multiple times and insulting his career path. The kid would not leave under any circumstances and shoved anyone brave enough to stop him. Finally, he went too far and assaulted one of the managers one too many times, and store employees took him down and pinned him to the ground until the cops came to arrest him. The whole incident was recorded on video by a bystander, and the funniest part of the video is at the beginning when the manager tells him he will get expelled, and he goes, "I'm not gonna get expelled. Go ahead, call the cops." And he got expelled. Luke Gaddy is a punk fool who needs to learn some decency, and hopefully his expulsion will teach him a lesson or two about respect. Thoughts?
Yeah, it just goes to show there's a fine line between being a decent jackass and a decently deficient jackass.
Very good.
And this guy crossed it. All right. Well,
How about you, Zid?
Well, okay. So a certain jackass cop, lacking sufficient decency, was responding to an emergency call in Ohio when he hit a pedestrian crossing the street. Instead of performing CPR and requesting an ambulance like a decent law enforcement officer, this particular cop decided now was the time to check the condition of his windshield after the impact. A second officer arrived later and performed CPR. However, it was too late for the unfortunate pedestrian. Not quite sure who let this particular cop graduate police academy without first testing his decency levels.
That kid probably got blood on his shoes. What a jerk.
You know what? They're supposed to lick it off, but I think he couldn't move his neck after being hit by the police car.
I think he just didn't get trained well in licking it off. Like,
no, he's an officer, you know.
Yeah, well, he should have been trained in that. You know, should know what to do in these situations.
Like CPR.
And getting the blood off shoes.
Anyways. All right, Kevin, let's rant. Tirade away, double TG Rozzy.
Thank you, Zid. You know, Steve-O may be a jackass, but he brings up a very good point. Not many people talk about this because there are more important issues out there. But the way they treat the orcas at SeaWorld should not be legal. Orcas can swim over 100 miles per day in the wild, but they are kept in tiny tanks that are only 40 feet deep at their deepest. The shallow tanks also provide little protection for the whales from sunburn on their blubber, which the scumbags at SeaWorld cover up with black zinc oxide to cover up so people don't see. Jane Goodall, longtime animal rights activist, points out that whales and dolphins communicate with sonar-like sound waves. Keeping them confined in tanks means that these sound waves bounce off of the walls and echo back, creating what she called an acoustical hell for the animals. In addition to all this, the average orca lifespan is between 30 to 50 years. The Orca Project claims that 37 whales have died in captivity between the California, Florida, and Texas locations, and that only one orca has lived until 30 years old in those places. Kind of messed up, huh, Zid?
It's very messed up. You know, honestly, these kinds of captive animals in general should be, their habitat environment should be understood as much as possible before even considering whether or not they should be in captivity. That's just basic, animal rights protocol in general.
Yeah.
So, it's clearly a violation, and that's just capitalism at its worst, at least with animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're starting to do zoos now where they put people in cages and drive them through the wild, you know? I think that's pretty cool. No, it's like they don't keep the animals in cages. They keep the people in cages. And the animals come up to the cages because they're
It's safari. That's safari.
Yeah, basically.
I like safaris better.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever been on them.
I'm not sure that's really possible with whales, but, you know.
Yeah, it could be.
Sure,
It sounds expensive.
All right. Anyways, Zaid. Serenade us with your parcel tongue pontification.
That was a little long, no? All right, so for this pontification, I will focus on dumb legal advocacy groups, such as those in favor of weed legalization. The topic of many a dinner table discussion, it seems everyone always has an opinion one way or another. Some will tell you weed is the devil's lettuce and should be shunned with a silver cross. Others will say weed is less harmful than alcohol and by some brilliant stroke of deductive logic should therefore be legal. Some will even cite the moral obligation to sweep asunder the financial power base of criminal organizations as justification for its legality. I would like to tell all these intellectuals that they need concern themselves with proverbial bigger fish, like how there have been racial riots, a widening gap in the socioeconomic strata, and a growing foreign power upset in China, Russia, even ISIS, at least on a diplomatic scale. The more petty issues should and could be solved on a local, state-by-state basis, utilizing the very purpose of local government our genius forefathers intended when they created the concept of state government, which, if I recall from my history class correctly, used to be the primary system of government. Yes, you are hearing a liberal advocate the use of local and state governments for societal issues over that of the federal government. Shocking in itself, I know.
What have I just heard?
I know, yeah.
I mean, if the government won't let me smoke my tree, there's going to be heck to pay.
Heck to pay.
Heck to pay.
You heard it from TTG.
It's a big deal.
Double TG.
Double TG Rozzy. Very upset about this.
Very upset.
Start riots. Very important.
He
I'm
wants
allowed
weed.
to do drugs.
All right. Anyways, clearly an advocate of these dumb legal groups. All right. That'll do for this week's episode.
Have a good week, everyone, and we'll see you next time on TTG and the Basilisk.